Hey, Stoney here with another game of Mechabellum. And in this game, you'll see how hackers can be used effectively against aggro and how to counteract it as the aggressor. Let's go. At the bottom here, I am playing as a fortified specialist and I'm up against Momaro playing as a speed specialist. So my MMR is around 1900, Momaro is about 1700. This is one of the games from my coaching streams that I do on Twitch on weekdays. So if you haven't seen my Twitch just yet, I have a link down in the description. Come check it out. We do coaching. We play crazy strategies. Right now, we're doing a lot of Tarantula games. I'm trying to make Tarantula work, both in aggro, but also in standard. So it's very fun. And then who knows where the next meta is going to be. So right off the bat here, we're both kind of pushing for aggro just a little bit, with me going the steel ball crawler comp. I'm deviating from my regular comp with the Arclight steel ball crawler, and I just want to see how this works. The goal here is to eventually get a wraith and pushing on the far left side. With Momaro, he is going with a safety army on the right hand side, which means these crawlers are going straight to my tower, and they are going to get my tower, and that's very bad news for my units up front. He also added an Arclight, which was very curious because he already has spiders. I think it just signals a potential transition into Arclights and abandoning the spiders. All right, round two, we actually get a unit drop. So let's see here. Fire Badgers get picked up by Momaro right away. I think Fire Badger is going to be a great pick for me as well. We can always buy Phoenixes. So Fire Badger, when you offer Fire Badger, you should take them. Farseer is another rare unit, but I just don't see Farseer working into my board. So I think Fire Badger is going to be my pick as well. And it is. So with Fire Badger versus Fire Badger, I think I have a slight advantage being the player with the steel ball, so I can get through some of the tough armor on the Fire Badger quicker than my opponent. However, Momaro decided to add a pair of Phoenixes, and that is going to win him the round because I did not get any upshoot. All right. One thing that's happening though is I did put down a flanking crawler, and that's going to get tower. So even though Momaro is going to win the round, I am still able to kill every single unit on the board, which means some of my units are going to get leveled. And this is very scary because both Fire Badger and Steel Balls are very level dependent. At level 1, they're kind of a trash unit. They can't do enough damage, they can't do enough tanking. But once you get up to level 3 for both kind of units, they become absolute chats, able to push through in an aggro position. What I wanted to do later on is I wanted to add Ignite, potentially Ignite and Range onto the Fire Badgers, allowing them to just clear out chaff very quickly, allowing the steel balls just go straight into the tower. So that's the strategy anyways, and let's see if this pays off. All right, getting to round 3, we have reinforcement cards. Subsidized Mustang is interesting. That allows me to pivot into Ball Stain, which is very powerful. But looking at the board, I don't know if that's something I wanted to do if I already have Fire Badgers on the board. One of the, I guess, the core principles of high MMR play is you want your army to be as efficient as possible. And that means you want to make sure that you're not filling multiple units into the same role. So right now, the Fire Badger serves both the role of chaff clearing as well as providing a bit of support for the steel balls. So I really didn't need to have Mustangs. I guess right now there is an empty spot to deal with the air units coming in from Momaro, but I want to try something a little different, right? With the Mustangs, that just means every single unit on my side of the board are going to be ground-based. And that means Momaro has an opportunity to hard counter the ground with things like Stonecallers, or even Vulcans can do well into this composition. So I wanted to try something a little different. I wanted to go Wasp. Wasp with enough numbers can actually bring down a lot of my opponent's units, and they are surprisingly powerful when it comes to just raw damage. One of the most effective way of going against Wasp is AA Mustangs. But I have Fire Badgers on the ground, which should be good against Mustangs if I can cut through that initial chaff. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to get Wasp, maybe get them a few levels and a few tech, and then later on when my opponent puts down AA Mustangs, we're not going to push our Fire Badgers into those Mustangs, allowing the Wasp to survive a little bit longer. Alright, great tower timing on my side, by the way, so that's going to allow this Wasp to clean up everything on Momaro's side. And with the Steel Ball constantly killing units round after round, I think I should be able to get another level, and there it is. Now we have 2 pairs of Steel Balls, and they are getting quite scary. Another improved fire control system. It got instant picked by me. Well, Momaro, I think, is a great card if he wants to use this card on either Fire Badgers or some other units. For me, it's going to go on Fire Badgers. It just allows them to do damage a lot faster to the front line. They are surviving quite a lot. I mean, this level 2 Fire Badger is currently the top unit, is the MVP of the game, getting the highest damage of the round, and killing the most units. Fire Badgers, when you get to not high enough levels, are just so terrifying. Even at level 2, they have 13,000 HP, right? If you're clicking on a Tarantula, this is a level 2 Tarantula at 31, which means at level 1, they're just around 1,600. But Fire Badger comes in 3s, which means level 2 Fire Badger can almost tank as well as 3 level 1 Tarantulas. That's just nuts. Alright, Momaro puts down a level 1 Wraith with range, with improved firepower system. So that means probably goodbye to my Wasp, at least for this round. And if there's any Phoenix left over, probably this level 2 Phoenix. That just means this is going to be a free round to Momaro. Now, Wraith aren't necessarily scary if I am able to go tagging on range and AA. And that was already something I wanted to do anyways. So it's okay to have my Wasp getting destroyed by this Wraith. But wait, look at this. With the tower timing, I was actually able to get this Wraith. So very unfortunate tower timing. I think if I were Momaro, I would definitely want to tag that tower at least to level 1. It's a cheap 100 supply upgrade, but you're going to get around 20,000 HP on that tower. All right, another unit drop. I think Stonecallers is actually terrifying if that's the choice for Momaro. Instant pick for Marksman because I've seen the Wraith, and Wraith is really the only thing right now that is stopping my Wasp to grow out of control. So I got 3 Marksmen, got AA. They're going to participate in deleting this Wraith, but also helping out in deleting the Phoenixes later on. And being level 3, they can also do quite a lot of damage to medium-sized units like these Fire Badgers and also these Sledgehammers. Momaro picked the Sledgehammer for the sole purpose of defending against these Steel Balls. Steel Balls require time to charge up, which means with the Sledgehammers in the vertical position, we'll have to charge up for every single one of these Sledgehammers, and that's going to take a long time. Napalm gets picked, which means there's probably not going to be much chaff on my side of the board. I might want to consider selling some of these crawlers because they're just going to run into the fire. They're barely doing any sort of damage or tanking because of Napalm. I added extra Fire Badgers on both flanks. Mostly I just want to protect my flanks, but unfortunately it's going to be a Phoenix flank, which Fire Badgers don't shoot up. So Momaro is going to get the tower. I'm not too scared at this point because I feel like this Marksman right now is going to get this Fire Badger, to get this Wraith very quickly. And nothing on Momaro's board can really contest against my Wasp. So let's see how this goes. Alright, Napalm going to work. Every single one of my crawler just dies. So selling them is actually a very good call because they're just useless paperweights. getting my tower in the nick of time before I was able to take down this wraith, which means all my wasps died in just a few volleys. And with that, I think that is going to be a win for Momaro. All right, reinforcement cards. Super heavy armor got picked up by me. When you're running into aggro balls, and especially when a ball is level 3, taking super heavy armor makes this pack of unit a pain in the ass to deal with. Every single one of these balls are now rocking 42,000 HP. That's like a fortress. But I got 4 of them. That's like 4 fortresses running at you 16 meters per second. With energy absorption, not only you're not able to kill them, it's able to heal itself all the way back to full because it can, you know, snack on the fire badgers, it can snack on these level 3 sledgehammers, just so many things for the energy absorption to work. Added more marksmen on the other side, primarily to deal with these phoenixes. Momaro decided to add super heavy armor on the tarantula, which is not bad because right now the only unit that's on that side is the fire badger, but I already have ignite on the fire badger, and ignite doesn't really care about how much HP you have, right? Because it's a percentage damage. It deals 6% per every 2 seconds. And also I already have steel balls, which means I can just put down a few level 2 steel balls with energy absorption. If anything, it's going to help my steel balls survive a little bit longer. Alright, so Momaro decided to put down wasp of his own. Makes sense because right now my wasp is just such a threat in the later rounds. But I think the real purpose for this wasp is to distract my AA marksman. These 3 AA marksmen, if given the opportunity, can simply 3-shot, maybe 2-shot this level 2 wraith. So that is, yeah, that's very well heads up play here. All right, round 7, reinforcement. I think it's going to be advanced offensive tactics. It's going to improve the damage output of my fire badgers. All right, it gets picked up, and for Momaro, I think, the advanced offensive tactics is not bad for Momaro as well, so I would definitely take that as the defender. But instead, it's going to be a skip. So the reason I took that card is because if you're looking at level 3 fire badger here, with the advanced fire control, and also with the item, it's doing 171 damage every 0.1 seconds. So that's 1,700 damage per second per unit, and I got 3 of them. So this is a unit that can kill pretty much everything that's on the ground. It's going to be great against chaff. It's going to be great against medium unit because this is raw damage. And against giant is also running ignite. So great unit to have. And it's being backed by another insane unit, which is a level 4 steel ball with energy absorption, rocking a 56,000 HP per unit. This duel here, if not treated correctly, is going to wreck Momaro's board. So the solution to these 2 units are going to be 2 level 2 hackers with range and enhanced control. Enhanced control allows the hacker to hack a damaged unit and bring it back to full health. So if it's able to get one of these Chad units, it's going to turn the tide of the battle very quickly. So what I'm hoping for is the steel balls to run forward, and with the 56,000 HP, it's going to take the hacker quite some time to get to the steel ball. But here it is. Once the steel ball gets stolen, this is going to be bad news. However, I do have a considerable amount of wasps still in the air, so they're getting in, they're doing the damage, but I simply cannot get through that wraith. With the hacker, it just kept turning my units, allowing my level 3 marksman to refocus onto my own unit, my trader units, and never able to get to that wraith. So I needed a alternative way to clear out the airs, and the answer might lie in the AA wasps. So a great round for Momaro here. Just turning my army against myself. All right. So I already got AA on the wasp, but I think I need to have range to contest a ranged wraith. Looking at the cards here, I am very tempted of taking a super heavy armor once again and putting it on the other steel ball, which is now going to be level 3. I'm also very tempted in getting just photon emission, so allowing most of my units at the front to live quite a bit longer away from these hackers. So it's going to be photon emission. I want to end the game very quickly because I feel like once these hackers get leveled, it's going to be bad news when I have a board of medium-sized units. I've also took range on my wasp, so I already took jump drive earlier on, and I put them right there in the middle with the mobile beacon, hopefully able to get to the tower. And Momaro said, no, we're not having any of that nonsense. I'm going to have a level 2 Wraith with range, with super heavy armor, right there in the path of you trying to get to that tower. So I don't care if you're going to have range, AA, good luck bringing down this level 2 Wraith with 75,000 HP. Holy cow. There's going to be another hacker on the other side, and that hacker is going to steal a few of my fire badgers, therefore securing that tower as well. The missiles on my weak points. One of the weakest spot of my board is actually right here. So imagine if you can bring down, let's say, a rhino. That rhino can just be mobile beacon straight to the tower with zero resistance whatsoever. Can't have that, so have a safety missile here at the very least will stop any sort of funny business like that. Level 2 Wraith, it is being locked on by a level 3 marksman, but yeah, completely destroyed my cheeky gorilla wasp here. But it seems like I am still winning on the front because the level 3 wasp with AA and with range was able to take down that big Wraith in the middle. So now with just 2 hackers and nothing in front of them, I am going to take one more round. And that's going to bring Momaro down to just 730 HP. So this could be the final round, but here comes the Mustangs. 2 level 3 Mustangs. It's going to get AA. It's going to get range. And it's going to get 2 more of his buddies. So 4 squads of Mustangs completely destroying any hope I had of using this wasp as a late game unit. I took the boats because I wanted to make sure that my units can get through the chaff here, mostly the fire badgers a little quicker, allowing the rest of my units to closing in with the hackers. But in retrospect, I think that might have been a less than ideal unit choice because of these level 3 Mustangs already on the board. Level 3 Mustangs actually deletes level 1 overlords super fast. So we're going to watch this massacre happen on this round. Looking at the board here, I think Momaro might just stabilize. Yes, he is at the death's door with only 730 HP, but these units, I mean, these Mustangs are possibly the best unit he can wish for. Yeah, I'm not sure what will be an answer for me to break through here. Let's see how this round goes. All right, we're going to put it down to regular speed, and we're just going to watch, right? First of all, no more wasp on the right-hand side. Hacker is getting onto Fire Badger, which means no more Fire Badgers on that side. No more wasp in the middle. I think these guys are just getting killed. The boats gets deleted so quick. Yeah, no more wasp on the left-hand side either. It's just a massacre. I mean, look at the board here. There's nothing left. Once the Fire Badgers with Napalm gets rid of my ground chaff and Mustangs gets rid of my air chaff. Ooh, getting down to 241 HP. Now, if you were playing my board, what would you do on this round? So I took oil. I think with the cheeky oil, I was hoping to ignite something near the very end. But after I took the oil, I was thinking, I don't know about oil. I genuinely don't know if that was a good idea. Momaro took the intensive training. I think that's going to happen on these Mustangs. We already have a level 4 Mustang on the far left. This Mustang is not only able to clear my flanking chaff, but it's also going to participate in killing pretty much all my air units. So I thought, hey, you know what? I haven't taken range on the steel balls. Yes, the A does give a 30-meter targeting priority in the air, but right now my wasps shoot at 105 meters where the steel balls shoot at 60. So if the steel balls can get in front of these Mustangs, they can technically tank for my wasp. If I took range on the steel balls, that would not have happened. So the strategy is just, let's add some steel balls, preferably level 2 steel balls if I can swing it, but if there aren't any level 2 steel balls, that's fine. Let's take armor and let's see what happens, right? On the left-hand side, there's only one shield bubble and one hacker, which means the level 3 marksman and also the boat with chain gun should be able to pop that. So I took armor on the left-hand side, trying to utilize these super huge steel balls. I'm going to slow that down even further. On the left-hand side, though, I'm hoping these fire badgers will be able to tank the damage. Yes, my my wasps are still just getting absolutely slaughtered on the left-hand side, but once we get through that initial chat, the fire badgers are so good at just killing small units like these Mustangs, and they should take care of business right away. Now, looking at the left-hand side here, you notice how all the Mustangs right here are focusing on these giant level 5 steel balls. They're not doing any damage because of the armor, which means my wasps, which are now level 3, are able to get in, do the damage, and pop the shield. Now, of course, the hackers are still a threat, which means I need to wait to get to the hacker before the hacker gets onto my fire badgers. My fire badgers are bringing down the tower very slowly on the other side, and it's looking pretty good to me, because my fire badgers are now already onto the Mustangs. So this is like a split-second difference, and that made all the difference in this board, and I was able to win the game just barely. And that was the unique interaction between not ranged steel balls with armor and ranged wasp, because that 40-meter difference is going to force my opponent to focus on the steel balls, not doing a lot of damage, and that's going to allow my wasp to actually mop up everything else. So a great game from Amaro. Almost had me. I think if you given him one more round, that would have been probably a very different outcome to the game. So I hope you enjoyed this game, and if you'd like to see another great game like this one, here's a video for you, and I will see you on the next one.
Prepare your tactics, Mechabellum's calling. Deploy your fortress, the battlefield's alive with swarms.